Alright, think about the very first thing you did when you woke up this morning. Chances are you probably reached for a device to check an app, right? We all do it. It's that platform you rely on every single day for news, some background music, texting friends, or honestly just to wake your brain up. And the crazy thing is, almost all of these platforms are completely free. Because we don't physically pull out a credit card to download them, they feel entirely harmless, just these helpful little tools sitting quietly in our pockets. But today we're going to dive into this explainer and gently pull back the curtain on these super familiar routines. We're going to calmly explore how these digital systems quietly shape our everyday behavior in ways most of us, honestly, rarely even notice.
So let's take a quick second. Consider how naturally and almost automatically you might have reached for your screen today. Did you tap an icon while you were just standing there waiting for your coffee to brew? Or maybe you opened a feed while stuck in traffic or during those quiet 2 minutes before a meeting actually starts. The physical action of unlocking a phone and tapping an app has literally become pure muscle memory. It's a reflex. We execute it without even making a conscious decision anymore. We engage with these platforms so smoothly that we're constantly interacting with these digital environments, just seamlessly weaving them into the quietest, tiniest moments of our day.
And when you really break down those automatic moments, it's pretty fascinating. These relatable moments perfectly mirror our own habits, showing just how seamlessly these free tools blend right into the gaps of our day. We open them right after waking up, over a quick plate of food, or just to fill the silence of a work break. Anytime there's even a microscopic moment of boredom, boom, the instinct kicks in. We even use them while watching TV, relying on a second screen to fill any tiny gap of silence or inactivity during a show. Over time, this behavior becomes so entirely automatic that we just begin checking our screens without fully realizing how often we're actually doing it.
Now, since we rarely hand over actual cash for these conveniences, it brings up a calm but really fascinating question. How do these massive platforms actually operate? Think about it. These are massive global companies. They employ thousands of engineers, they host billions of videos and high-resolution images, and they run incredibly complex, power-hungry digital infrastructures. None of that is cheap. It's actually wildly expensive. So, if we aren't paying a monthly fee to use their basic services, how are they generating the staggering revenue needed to not just survive, but to absolutely thrive?
Well, that brings us to an invisible, everyday exchange. On the surface, the transaction feels entirely free. $0 leave your wallet, right? It feels like a simple, complimentary product. But beneath the surface, a completely different kind of payment is being collected. They are collecting your watch history, the specific things you click or even just hover over, the exact amount of time you spend looking at a post, your search queries, your past purchases. We think we are paying absolutely nothing, but we're actually providing highly valuable data. Every single interaction is quietly recorded, analyzed, and utilized.
So the crucial point here is that in the modern digital landscape, your attention itself is the actual currency keeping these platforms running. For many of these companies, user attention is quite literally the most valuable resource on Earth. And the logic? It's incredibly straightforward. The longer people stay inside an app, the more opportunities the platform has to show you advertisements, recommend products to you, suggest the next video, and collect even more granular data about your habits. Your physical presence on the screen is exactly what funds the entire operation.
Because your attention is so highly valued, the features you interact with aren't just random accidents. They are meticulously engineered design choices meant to quietly maximize the time you spend on that screen. Apps are specifically designed to encourage you to return often and stay longer. Features like perfectly timed notifications, autoplay, endless scrolling, personalized feeds, and tailored product recommendations, they aren't just there to be helpful. They're actually carefully crafted psychological systems, purposefully designed to keep users active inside the application for the longest possible periods of time.
Now, rather than feeling trapped by this, it really helps to simply observe how the very architecture of our digital spaces has shifted. There's a great observation here. Many modern apps remove stopping points completely. Think about how profound that is. In the real world, things naturally come to a close. But in the digital world, the environment is intentionally designed to be boundless. When an app removes stopping points completely, it totally eliminates that subtle psychological cue that tells your brain, okay, you're done here. It's time to move on to something else.
Just think about how media used to work. A newspaper physically ends when you turn the last page. A TV show ends, the screen cuts to black, and the credits roll. A movie finishes. There was always a built-in boundary. But today, inside modern apps, there's never an end. There's always another video queued right up, another post constantly refreshing in the feed, another product recommendation, or another message. Because there's always another piece of content waiting to be consumed, the natural boundaries of our media consumption completely vanish.
We can actually see step by step how this habit forms.
It usually starts innocently enough, right? Just a gentle ping and a notification on your lock screen. Sure, some of these are useful, but many are mainly designed just to pull you back in. You open the app, maybe just intending to clear the alert. But then an autoplay system immediately launches video, instantly capturing your focus. One perfectly curated clip seamlessly leads to another, and before you know it, time just passes without you even noticing. The experience feels so incredibly smooth and continuous that you might spend hours consuming content without realizing an entire afternoon has just evaporated.
Furthermore, as we look at how platforms generate revenue, notice how this seamlessness totally extends to modern advertising. In the past, a commercial break was an obvious interruption. It was completely separate from the show, and it was incredibly easy to spot. Today, though, the friction has completely disappeared. Ads blend right into the normal content. Sponsored posts look exactly like regular updates from your friends. Product suggestions appear naturally inside the feeds we scroll. Because of this, advertising feels far less obvious, and we rarely realize just how often we're being exposed to highly targeted marketing throughout the entire day.
I want to pause here for a second because convenience plays a massive, quiet role in all of this. Modern apps are designed to feel fast, smooth, and utterly frictionless. And human nature dictates a very simple rule. The easier something feels, the more we use it. When something feels effortless, like using a saved payment method or a one-click checkout, we will do it more often and spend more easily without a second thought. We don't have to enter our credit card numbers, we don't have to actively search for the next video. The app does all the heavy lifting for us. This sheer convenience quietly leads people to develop habits they honestly never intended to build.
To keep you locked in this frictionless environment, platforms take all your invisible data, your watch history, your clicks and likes, your searches, the exact viewing time you linger on an image, your past purchases, and they feed it into a complex algorithm. They use this everyday activity to create highly personalized feeds that feel incredibly entertaining. The result? Different users see entirely different worlds based on their unique behavior. The algorithm's only goal is to serve you recommendations that are emotional, captivating, and practically impossible for you, specifically, to ignore.
While most of us immediately recognize and appreciate the convenience of these fast, smooth apps, fewer people stop to notice what the apps quietly receive in return. We so easily celebrate how connected we feel, how quickly we can order delivery, or how effortlessly we can find an entertaining video. But as these digital platforms become more intertwined with daily life, it becomes much harder to separate our entertainment from the advertising, the recommendations, and the spending. The hidden cost is your time. The free product isn't truly free. It operates on an entirely different economic model where the currency is your daily life.
The true unseen trade-off for all this free convenience isn't our money. It's subtle shifts in our daily habits, our focus, and our time away from screens. Repeated interruptions from notifications can make it genuinely harder to disconnect or just relax. We trade our ability to sit quietly for a moment or focus deeply on a single task in exchange for a state of constant engagement. We are developing unintended dependencies on these screens. Now, this isn't about attacking technology or being dramatic. It's simply about calmly observing the reality of how these systems operate and the hidden tolls they take on our attention.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I'd love for you to look at your own daily routines and ask yourself one simple question. What are you quietly trading for convenience? The next time you find yourself endlessly scrolling or automatically reaching for your phone the literal second you feel bored, just take a pause. Are you simply using a free digital tool to enhance your day? Or is the architecture of the app quietly using your time and shaping your behavior? Just becoming aware of these invisible systems, that is the very first step in reclaiming your attention.